Do charter air brokers have planes? No, we do not have planes. So what do a private charter jet broker do? Let's say you want to fly privately from FXE, Fort Lauderdale, to Madrid. How are you gonna get your private jet? You are going to want to book a flight that is safe, fits your passengers and your baggage, and is available to operate that flight for that date, right? There are 2,500 operators in the US only. How are you gonna pick the best one of those, or just one of those? So operators typically do not work with direct clients. They work with wholesale brokers, us. Because the communication is smoother and we are just used to talking to each other. In cases where an operator works directly with an end client, it can happen, but communication gets to be a little bit more chaotic. You're gonna want to look probably for an operator in your region, a local operator, and good luck having access to any of those operators online or getting even their number. If you did find a local operator, they might not have the type of aircraft that you're looking for or an available aircraft for your date at all. Most probably they're not going to be available. While some other operator from the West Coast might have an available aircraft, a heavy jet that can transport you to Madrid for that date that's located within your region and will not need to reposition all the way from the West Coast. And that flight will cost you way less than what an operator within your region that does not have an available aircraft that will need to reposition from very far out to come and pick you up. So how are you going to find that aircraft? Brokers have a global network and they have systems to actually find that best aircraft that would be closest to you, that will fit you, that will be safe to take you all the way you want. And they will do all that work on your behalf. Hours of work, sometimes days of work to source that aircraft for you. Tens of emails, hundreds of phone calls to get to that best convenient option that will be able to operate that flight for you. Our job does not end there, of course not. We are going to be communicating with the operator on a daily basis to make sure that everything is being taken care of. From documents, paperwork, permits, your pet's documentation, any problem that might arise, we are going to be sorting that out with the operator while you're just doing your business and you're not going to be involved in any of that. We are going to be overseeing everything to make sure that your flight or your plane is going to be there the day it's supposed to be there, actually not the day before. We make sure that it repositions a day prior for most of the flights that we operate. We are not going to let you just fly. We're going to be following that plane with you. Of course, there are other services that we provide to make your experience enjoyable and tailored to you, whether it's catering requests, whether it's a request for some special occasion on board, whether it is some language requirement for a flight attendant, whatever you can think of, we make it happen. You fly happy so that we are happy. And then once you take off, we're going to be watching you. We will be watching you until you land safely, and if any requirement after the flight, a taxi, Uber, a private chauffeur, we're gonna make it happen. How much does a private jet broker make? Compensation wise, I'm gonna say the standard would be 5% of what the operator would quote. Our commission would be something around that percentage. Now, there are some brokers that charge a little bit higher. There are others that charge less, depending on how much work they are gonna put in, or if it's an international flight that would require way more work than it would for a domestic flight, for example. I personally never, ever charge more than 5%. I do care deeply about my clients' loyalty, and I never want to take advantage of any of my clients. I do prioritize transparency, honesty, and I want to keep you guys. So anytime you need an answer, I will never ever not pick up the phone, because I'm going to be available to answer your questions 24/7, no matter how bad the situation is. If it's an AOG or if it's just a 7 a.m. call to ask for chocolate on board, I'm gonna pick up the phone and answer the call, and I'll be happy and more than happy to do that, because my priority is you. I do want you to come back, and I want to keep you as a client. I do not want to take advantage of you and see you once and bye-bye. If you have something coming up, you can call me at any time at the 571-347-0991, and me, I would be happy to assist you, pick up the phone and be with you, as I said, from booking to landing.